Stop curling up in your pathetic little corner, thinking about what you could have done differently. You really think the world cares about your regrets? News flash, kid. No one gives a damn. Not them. Not the ones you're crying about. Not even you. Because if you really cared, you wouldn't be here, would you? Sitting, rotting in this pit of your own self-pity. Let me remind you who you are. No, scratch that. Let me remind you who you could have been if you hadn't let the world chew you up and spit you out. Yeah, I said it. You let them. You let their words sink into your skin like hooks, dragging you down every time they laughed, every time they turned their backs. You let them win. And now you're sitting here, hands shaking, mind racing, pretending like you don't know the truth. You know why you're stuck. You know why it hurts. It's you. It's always been you. Your weakness, your hesitation, your need for their approval. You built your cage, brick by brick, out of fear and excuses. But here's the thing. I'm not here to coddle you. I'm not your shoulder to cry on, and I sure as hell ain't your savior. I'm here to rip you apart, piece by miserable piece, until there's nothing left but the raw, ugly truth. Because only then, only when you've bled out all the lies you tell yourself, can you start to grow. You want to talk about pain? Good. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how you worn your scars like a badge, like they make you special. They don't. They just make you human. Everyone's got scars, kid. The difference is, some people use theirs as fuel, while you use yours as chains. What's that? You're tired? You're done fighting? Tough. Life doesn't care how tired you are. It doesn't care how many times you've been knocked down. It'll keep swinging harder and harder until you either fight back or get buried. And right now, you're 6 feet under, and you don't even realize it. But here's the kicker. You can still claw your way out. Oh, it won't be pretty. It won't be easy. You'll scrape your hands raw, break every damn finger, and feel like you're dying with every inch you climb. But you'll make it, because you have to. You think you're broken, so what? Broken things can be rebuilt, but only if you stop sitting there, whining about the pieces, and start picking them up. You don't get to undo what's been done. You don't get to rewrite the past. But you can outgrow it. You can take every ounce of pain, every moment of weakness, and turn it into something that makes the world regret ever crossing you. Stop running. Stop hiding. Face it. Face every single thing that's holding you back and tear it apart. You're not a victim. You're not a failure. You're not weak. You're something far more dangerous. You're someone who's got nothing left to lose, and that makes you unstoppable. So get up. Not tomorrow, not later, Now, right now, get up and let the world see what happens when they push someone too far. Let them see the fire they lit, the beast they created. And don't stop. Not until you've taken everything back, and then some. Because here's the truth. They don't want you to know you're capable of more than they'll ever understand. You've got the strength to rise, the will to fight, and the power to win, but only if you stop holding yourself back. Only if you stop listening to that weak little voice in your head that says you're not enough. So, what's it gonna be? You gonna stay here, wallowing in your misery? Or are you gonna stand up and prove them all wrong? Because, let me tell you something, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is you, not them, not the past, not the pain, just you. And if you're not willing to fight for yourself, then maybe you deserve to stay down. But if there's even a flicker of fight left in you, a spark of defiance, then grab it, feed it, let it consume you until there's nothing left but fire. Because you can't undo it, but you can outgrow it. And that's how you win. Oh, you thought I was done? Not even close. You don't get off that easy. Not after the pathetic excuses you've been living with. Let me ask you something. When did you give up? Was it when they left? When they hurt you? When they told you that you'd never make it? Or was it when you started believing them? Because that, right there, that moment when you let their words sink into your bones, that's when you lost. Not because you weren't strong enough. Not because you weren't smart enough. But because you let their poison rot you from the inside out. And now you're stuck, clinging to this pathetic little version of yourself like it's all you've got. But here's the truth. You've been too afraid to admit you're not afraid of them. You're afraid of yourself. You're afraid of what you could become if you actually stopped holding back. You felt it, haven't you? That raw, untapped power simmering beneath the surface. The fire in your gut that you keep trying to smother. You're terrified of it because you know, deep down, you're capable of destroying everything that's ever held you back. And that scares you more than anything. Because what happens when there's no one left to blame? What happens when it's just you standing there, staring at the mess you've made of your life? That's the real reason you're hiding, isn't it? But here's the thing. You can't hide forever. Not from me. Not from yourself. You think I'm here to hold your hand, to whisper sweet nothings and tell you it's all gonna be okay. I'm here to drag you, kicking and screaming out of the hell you've built for yourself. Because I know what you're capable of. I know what's inside you. And it's not this weak, trembling excuse of a person you've been pretending to be. No, inside you is a monster, a beast that's been caged for far too long. And it's time to let it out. You think the world's been unfair to you? Good. Use it. Let every betrayal, every failure, every ounce of pain fuel you. Let it sharpen you, harden you, until you're unbreakable. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. Hell, you don't even need their respect. You need their fear. You need them to look at you and realize they made a mistake. A big, ugly, irreversible mistake when they underestimated you. But that's not gonna happen while you're sitting here drowning in your self-pity. It's only gonna happen when you stand up, take a long, hard look at the wreckage of your life, and say, this is mine now. All of it, the pain, the scars, the failures, they're mine, and I'm not running from them anymore. Because here's the truth, kid. The past doesn't define you. It doesn't own you. You own it. Every mistake, every heartbreak, every wrong turn. They're yours. And the moment you stop letting them control you is the moment you take your power back. So, stop waiting for someone to save you. No one's coming. No one. Not your friends. Not your family. Not some divine hand reaching down to pull you out of the muck. It's just you. And that's all you need. Because the power to rise, to fight, to win, it's been inside you all along. You just forgot how to use it. But I'm here to remind you. I'm here to strip away every excuse, every ounce of doubt, until there's nothing left but the raw, unrelenting truths. You are stronger than this. Stronger than the pain. Stronger than the fear. Stronger than the lies you've been telling yourself. And if you don't believe me, then prove me wrong. Prove me wrong by staying down, by giving up, by letting the world win. But if there's even an ounce of fight left in you, then get up. Get up. Not for them, not for revenge, not for some noble cause. For you. Because at the end of the day, when the world's turned its back on you, when there's nothing left but darkness, you'll realize something. You don't need them. You never did. You've got everything you need right here, inside you. The strength, the fire, the will. So stop wasting it. Stop holding back. Stop pretending to be something you're not. Because you're not weak. You're not broken. You're not a victim. You're a force of nature. And it's time to start acting like it. You can't undo it, but you can outgrow it. And when you do, when you rise from the ashes of everything that tried to destroy you, the world won't just remember you, it'll fear you. Now prove me right. What are you waiting for, huh? Some kind of permission? Some miraculous sign from the universe telling you it's your turn? Wake up. The universe doesn't hand out chances. It doesn't care about fairness or justice. It doesn't care about you. The only thing the universe understands is power. The power to take what you want, to fight for what's yours. And if you don't have it, you get crushed. That's the reality. That's the truth no one tells you when they're feeding you their sweet little lies about hope and patience. Hope, patience. Those are for the weak, for the ones who sit around waiting for something good to fall into their laps. But you don't have time for that. Not anymore. You've wasted enough of your life hoping, waiting, praying. Now, it's time to act. Time to take back control. But here's the thing. It's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be easy. You're gonna bleed for it. You're gonna hurt for it. You're gonna feel like the whole damn world is against you. And maybe it is. So what? You gonna let that stop you? You gonna let the weight of the world keep you down? Or are you gonna stand up and show them what happens when they push someone too far? Because let me tell you something. The world doesn't fear the strong. It fears the relentless. The ones who keep coming, no matter how many times they're knocked down. The ones who refuse to stay broken. And you could be one of them. You could be the storm they never saw coming. But not like this. Not while you're still chained to your past, clinging to your pain like it's some kind of trophy. Let it go. No, I'm not saying forget it. I'm not saying pretend it didn't happen. That's not how this works. You don't get to erase the past, but you do get to decide what it means. Is it gonna be the thing that breaks you, or is it gonna be the thing that builds you? Because right now you're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to the same old misery, the same old excuses, the same pathetic life you've been living. The other leads to something better, something stronger. But you've gotta choose. No one's gonna do it for you. And don't you dare tell me it's too late. That's just another excuse. Another lie you tell yourself to make the pain easier to bear. It's not too late. It's never too late. You still got time. Time to fight. Time to change. Time to become something more than what they said you'd be. But only if you're willing to put in the work. Only if you're willing to face the pain head on, to let it shape you, mold you, strengthen you. Because here's the thing, pain is inevitable. It's the one constant in life. But suffering is a choice. And you've been choosing to suffer for far too long. It's time to make a different choice. You think you're alone? You think no one understands what you're going through? Good. That loneliness, that's your weapon. That's the thing that's gonna set you apart. Because when you stop looking for someone to save you, when you stop waiting for someone to understand you, that's when you'll realize the truth. You don't need anyone. You got everything you need right here, inside you. The strength, the power, the will. And yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna tear you apart. But in the end, you'll be stronger for it. Because the greatest strength comes from the greatest pain. Every scar you carry, every wound you've endured, that's your proof. Proof that you've survived. Proof that you're still standing. And if you're still standing, you're still fighting. So fight. Fight for yourself. Fight for your future. Fight for the life you've always wanted, but were too scared to claim. Because no one's gonna hand it to you. You've gotta take it. And when you do, when you finally rise from the ashes of everything that tried to destroy you, the world won't know what hit it. You can't undo it, but you can outgrow it. And when you do, you'll look back on this moment, on the pain, the fear, the doubt, and you'll laugh. Because you'll realize it was all worth it. Every tear, every scar, every moment of despair. It was all worth it because it made you who you are. And who you are, you're unstoppable. Now prove it. What? You thought this would be easy. You thought I'd stop now, give you a moment to breathe. No, that's not how this works. Growth isn't about comfort. It's about destruction. Breaking down every piece of yourself that's weak. Every lie you've lived. Every excuse you've ever made. And rebuilding. You don't get to rest until the work is done. Until you've burned down the old version of yourself and risen from the ashes. Sharper, harder, unstoppable. That's the price you pay. And you've been running from it for far too long. But not anymore, because I'm not letting you hide. I'm not letting you back down. Not this time. You're going to face it, all of it. Every regret, every failure, every time you let someone else control your life. You're going to feel the full weight of it, and then you're going to use it. Because here's the truth they don't want you to know. Pain doesn't just hurt, it fuels, it drives, it transforms. If you let it, if you stop running from it and start embracing it, every time someone doubted you, every time they laughed at you, betrayed you, tore you down, that's your power, that's your edge. Because while they were busy living their easy little lives, you were suffering, you were breaking, and now you're gonna make them regret every second of it, but not by sinking to their level. Not by wasting your time chasing revenge. No. You're going to make them regret it by rising so far above them that they can't even see you anymore. You're going to succeed in ways they never thought possible. impossible. You're going to build a life so big, so powerful, that their small, pathetic opinions won't even matter anymore. And the best part, you won't need to say a damn word, because your success will speak for itself. You think you're too far gone? That you made too many mistakes? That there's no coming back from this? Let me tell you something. The only thing keeping you down is you. Not them. Not the past. Not the pain. Just you. And you have two choices. You can stay here, wallowing in your misery, letting your regrets eat you alive. Or you can get up right now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. Every moment you spend stuck in this pit is a moment you could have used to climb out of it. And I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how much it hurts. Pain is temporary. Regret is forever. So what's it gonna be? Are you gonna keep living like this? Stuck in the same endless cycle, going nowhere, doing nothing, being nothing? Or are you gonna break it? Because you can. You know you can. Deep down, beneath all the doubt, all the fear, all the excuses, you know you're capable of more. You've always known it. You've just been too scared to admit it. You think you're weak. You think you're broken. Good. That's a start. Because only the broken understand what it means to rebuild. Only the weak know what it means to fight. And you're a fighter. Even if you've forgotten it. Even if you've buried it under years of pain and doubt. It's still there. That fire, that hunger, that raw, unrelenting will to survive. And it's time to let it out. Because the world isn't going to wait for you. It's not going to hand you anything. You've got to take it. And when you do, when you finally stop holding back, stop making excuses, stop letting fear control you, they won't know what hit them. They'll look at you and see something they can't understand, can't control, can't break. They'll see the real you. The one you've been hiding for so long. The one who's stronger than the pain, stronger than the fear, stronger than anything they've ever seen. You can't undo it. You can't go back. But you can outgrow it. And when you do, when you finally step into your power, into the life you were meant to live, they'll regret every second they spent doubting you. Because you're not just gonna survive, you're going to thrive. You're going to become something they can't even comprehend. And when they see you standing tall, unbreakable, unstoppable, they'll realize the truth. They never stood a chance. You feel it now, don't you? That spark, that fire. It's been there all along. I didn't put it there. The pain stop hiding, to finally use it. But a spark is just the beginning. It's weak, fragile, easy to snuff out, unless you feed it, unless you fan it into a blaze so big it consumes everything that tried to hold you back. And that's what you're gonna do. Burn away the lies, the fear, the hesitation. Burn so brightly that no one can look at you without seeing their own failures reflected back at them. You think they'll cheer for you, applaud your rise? Ha, don't be stupid. They'll hate you for it. They'll resent you for becoming the thing they were too afraid to be. And that's good. Let them. Their hatred is proof that you're winning. Because when you rise, when you finally step into the power they never wanted you to have, you'll force them to confront their own weakness, their own cowardice, and that's the sweetest revenge of all. But this isn't about them, is it? It never was. This is about you. About what you're willing to endure. About how far you're willing to go. You think you've suffered? That you've hit rock bottom? Ha, no. You've been comfortable. Even in your misery, you found a way to settle, to stay stagnant, to avoid the real work. But that ends now. Comfort is the enemy. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Strength isn't born in safety. If you want to become the person you were meant to be, you've got to step into the fire. You've got to embrace the pain, the struggle, the uncertainty. You've got to push yourself further than you've ever gone before, until every muscle screams, every bone aches, every part of you begs to stop. And then you keep going, because that's what it takes. That's the price you pay to rise. And you're gonna pay it. Every last ounce of it. Not because you have to, not because someone else is forcing you, but because you want to. Because deep down, you know it's the only way. The only way to break free. The only way to win. You know what they fear the most. It's not your anger. It's not your success. It's your potential. They've seen glimpses of it in the moments you stood tall. Even when everything around you was falling apart. In the moments you refused to give up. Even when the odds were stacked against you. They saw it. And it terrified them. Because they knew. If you ever figured out how powerful you really are, nothing could stop you. And now, you're starting to see it too. But knowing isn't enough. Believing isn't enough. You've got to act. You've got to take that potential and turn it into reality. And that means leaving behind the old version of yourself. The one who hesitated. The one who doubted. The one who let fear dictate their every move. That version of you, it's dead. You're not that person anymore. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're not a victim. You're a force. A storm. A monster. And the world, it's not ready for you. You can't undo it. The mistakes, the pain, the things you've lost, they're permanent. But you're not. You're not fixed. You're not unchanging. You're fluid, adaptable, unstoppable. And you're going to outgrow everything that tried to break you. Every scar, every wound, every regret. It's all going to fuel your rise. They thought they could bury you. They thought they could crush you. They thought they could keep you small. But they were wrong. Because you're not just going to rise. You're going to dominate. You're going to become the thing they tell stories about. The one who clawed their way out of the pit. Who defied every odd. Who shattered every expectation. And when they look at you, when they see what you've become, they'll realize the truth. They didn't break you. They made you. Now, rise. Rise and show the world what happens when someone refuses to stay broken. Rise and take what's yours. Rise and become the thing they never saw coming. Because this is your time, your moment, and no one, not them, not the past, not even yourself can take it from you.